and show exceptional promise for future contributions. I would like to thank Michael Lynn, who is the chair of the New Investigator Award Committee, and other members of the committee for their work. And now to present the award, here is Professor Ira Moscovice, who is a professor and division head of health policy and management at the University of Minnesota.
I'm delighted to introduce the recipient of the 2016 Alice Hersh New Investigator Award, Katy Kozhimannil, and she is a health services researcher. Katy joined our division at the University of Minnesota School of Public Health in the fall of 2010 and was promoted to associate professor with tenure in the summer of 2015. Prior to that, she was a postdoctoral fellow in the Department of Population Medicine at the Harvard Medical School. Katy's research focuses on how healthcare policies impact the lives of women and their families. Childbirth is the most common and most costly reason for hospitalization in the United States. The goal of Katy's scholarly work is to contribute to the evidence base for clinical and policy strategies to improve the health and well-being, and to collaborate with stakeholders in making policy changes to facilitate improved maternal and child health, especially for rural, diverse, or otherwise underserved families. The knowledge generated through her research is important to women themselves, as they, in partnership with their healthcare providers, make choices about their health and medical care in order to maximize their own well-being and that of their children and families. Some of her specific contributions to the field include quantifying variations in maternity care by hospital, payer, and geographic location, documenting rural, urban, racial, ethnic, and income disparities in maternal health, modeling the potential benefits of expanded access to continuous labor support via the use of doulas, and evaluating the effects of laws and policies to improve maternal child health. During Katy's tenure process, the comments from one external reviewer revealed the innovative contribution she has made. This reviewer noted that Dr. Kozhimannil is difficult to compare with peers in her field because, quite frankly, she's defining her own field. The Hersh Award is meant to recognize scholars with exceptional potential for future contributions. Several things make Katy stand out for this prestigious honor. She exceeds the traditional academic benchmarks for success. She's a prolific researcher who publishes studies and commentaries in the top journals of the field. Media coverage of her research, including feature stories by the New York Times, the Washington Post, National Public Radio, PBS NewsHour, Kaiser Health News, the Wall Street Journal, U.S. News and World Report, has generated dialogue and interest at the national level. However, where Katy really redefines academic excellence is in her tireless commitment to drive policy change to facilitate improved health for women and their families and to reduce health inequities. Many academic researchers engage with policy by writing a coherent discussion section at the end of their research papers that consider possible policy implications of their work. What really sets Katy apart at such an early stage in her career is how she raises the bar for engaging to make change. She regularly works with clinicians and payers with the goal of collaborating to improve the quality of maternity care. For example, she was invited in 2015 to serve as the only non-clinician member of the National Alliance for Innovation on Maternal Health's work group on reduction of peripartum racial disparities. Most notably, Katy's research has led directly to the passage of legislation in our state expanding Medicaid coverage to include doula services. 2 other states are now considering similar laws. Her research showed potential health improvements as well as the possibility of cost savings to state Medicaid programs that offer coverage of doula services. Katy sees this as one of her most meaningful professional contributions to date, as it establishes in statute access to the many proven benefits of maternal support to the approximately 30,000 low-income Minnesota mothers who give birth each year. Even more so, Katy's passion and commitment to informing policy spill over to the next generation. Every semester, she teaches our school's core master's level class on health policy, and she trains her students to diagnose the political nature of health issues and to effectively engage in the policy process. Her students have published their op-eds in newspapers across the United States and have contributed directly to the passage or implementation of legislation in 8 states. Katy clearly is building a strong future both in her own research but in her training of the next profession or generation. One of the true joys of being a division head is to see younger faculty mature in their careers and become the future stars in our field. It's been my pleasure and honor to work with Katy and to have her as a faculty member in our Division of Health Policy and Management at the University of Minnesota. Katy's contributions to date are remarkable, and if they are any predictor of her future work, we can expect a significant shift in the health and well-being of mothers and families across the United States, and a narrowing of the racial disparities in birth outcomes that have haunted public health for more than a century. She truly is an outstanding recipient of the Alice Hersh New Investigator Award. Please join me in congratulating our colleague, Katy.
Thank you so much. I am really excited and really grateful and really happy to receive this award. I'm so grateful to AcademyHealth and to the members of the selection committee. I came to AcademyHealth for the first time 10 years ago as a doctoral student, and I arrived filled with anticipatory energy and more than just a little bit of professional uncertainty about how my career would unfold and whether I belonged in this field, and if the questions that I found fascinating were ones worth answering. Receiving this award, it shows me that they were. And it shows how our field lifts up researchers who chart their own paths in health policy and health services research. Is anyone out there here for the first time? Hi, welcome. Anyone out there, either new or experienced, willing to admit to any feelings of professional uncertainty? Okay. Well, I'm standing on this stage for the first time, and I am more than a little bit nervous, but I know that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I would like to share with you today 3 realizations that have helped me to move from feelings of professional uncertainty to knowing that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. First, recognize and appreciate all of your teachers. We have so many teachers around us. There are those that we traditionally know as our teachers, and I certainly would not have evolved to be the researcher that I am without tremendous mentorship and support during my training and early in my career. Thank you, Elise Adams, Hayden Huskamp, Kathy Swartz, Joe Newhouse. Thank you, Beth Vernig, Lynn Blewett, and Ira Moscovice. My peers have also been incredible teachers to me. They have taught me lessons of creativity, tenacity, generosity, and kindness, and have been incredible intellectual compatriots on this journey. I'm grateful to those that I trained with and to my fellow junior faculty members at the University of Minnesota School of Public Health. I have to especially thank my colleague Ezra Goldberstein for one conversation that kept me in this game during a feeling of great uncertainty. He taught me to believe in myself in a moment when I needed it most. My best teachers in my professional life have been my students. They have taught me to think beyond boundaries and have become some of my most treasured colleagues. Thank you, Rachel Hardiman. Thank you, Laura Atanasio. Thank you, so many others. There are also all of those teachers that grace us with their lessons, kind of outside of our professional lives, and I've learned the most poignant lessons of my life from them. From my 93-year-old grandmother, who narrowly survived giving birth for the first time in 1948, only to lose her sister to maternal mortality just 5 years later. To my parents, John and Sue, for the example that they've set. To my husband, Thomas, for always being there and for being here today. And to my awesome kids, Paul and Rita. Becoming a mother has shaped me in profound ways, and to be my full and authentic self as a researcher, I bring my own experiences and those of other families to bear in the work that I do in teaching, policy, and research. Paul and Rita have been my best teachers for 2 things, inspiration and humility. Never have I been so inspired or so humbled as I am when I am parenting those two wonderful people. But there's one teacher that's even more important to me than Paul and Rita, and that is me. The second realization I'll share is this: you are your own best teacher. You are enough, and you have what you need, and you know what to do. I have learned that it's possible to thrive in my personal and professional life by prioritizing time with myself. My gut instincts can inform me well about everything from potential collaborations to policy coalitions to pursuing grant opportunities to giving and receiving mentoring advice. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I would suggest a mindfulness or meditation practice, or just listen to yourself, because when you do, I think you will discover that in spite of everything that all the external signals about funding lines, in your own mind, there is not a scarcity of resources, but an abundance of ideas and of energy. To keep that energy sustained, I'd like to share a third realization. Do the things that you can uniquely do. This third realization has been more recent for me and has evolved, at least in part, from the endless and relentless tug of work and family. This polemic is toxic and it's not necessary. I have learned to find clarity in my time, in my decision-making and time management by prioritizing commitments that I can uniquely fulfill. In addition, recognizing my own unique skills has really brought for me a greater awareness of the unique qualities of others. Applying this criteria to decisions has minimized my resentment, and it enhances my enjoyment. It sustains my passion, and it also allows others to realize their full potential, because there is an equity implication of taking up too much professional space. It may be crowding out other voices that are uniquely qualified to emerge. As a field, we have much to gain from embracing diverse perspectives and from valuing the teachings and lived experiences of those whose voices are often absent in policy discussions, but whose lives are deeply impacted by policy decisions. Being aware of the things that I can uniquely do has enhanced my awareness of the gifts of others, including those that our field frequently terms vulnerable. They're also resilient. In many ways, I am one of them. I am also one of you. Receiving this award shows me that I can be one of them and one of you. Recognize and appreciate all of your teachers. Remember that you are your own best teacher, and do the things that you can uniquely do. I recognize and appreciate the teacher in each of you. Thank you so much for this award.